The world is changing, and the pace of transformation is accelerating before our very eyes. In every corner of the globe, from the bustling streets of São Paulo to the high-tech hubs of Shanghai, a new energy is emerging. The familiar rhythms of global commerce and power are shifting, signaling the dawn of a new era. The global landscape is transforming, not just in subtle ways, but through profound and visible shifts. Trade routes are being redrawn, alliances are being reimagined, and the centers of economic gravity are moving. The world map, once dominated by a handful of powerful nations, is now alive with new possibilities and emerging players. For centuries, the West, led by the United States and Europe, defined the economic and political order. Their institutions, currencies, and corporations set the rules of the game, shaping the flow of money, resources, and influence. But today, this long-standing dominance faces a significant test, as new challengers step onto the world stage with bold ambitions and fresh ideas. At the forefront of this change is a new group of powers, the BRICS bloc: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Once seen as a collection of fast-growing economies, BRICS is now emerging as a formidable coalition, united by a shared vision of a more balanced and inclusive global order. Initially, BRICS was a loose economic grouping, a forum for dialogue and cooperation. But over the years, it has evolved into a cohesive force, launching ambitious initiatives that challenge the status quo. One such initiative is the creation of a mineral exchange, a platform designed to harness the vast natural resources of its member nations. This mineral exchange is more than just a marketplace. It aims to revolutionize the way essential resources like gold, copper, and lithium are traded. By using their own currencies, instead of relying on the US dollar, BRICS nations are taking a bold step to challenge the dollar's supremacy and assert greater control over their economic destinies. By creating this alternative system, BRICS seeks to reduce its vulnerability to Western economic policies, sanctions, and market fluctuations. The goal is to reshape global resource flows, ensuring that the wealth generated from minerals benefits their own people and economies, rather than being siphoned off by distant financial centers. Unsurprisingly, this development is causing unease in Western capitals. Long-standing arrangements that once seemed unshakable are now under threat. Headlines around the world reflect growing anxiety about what these changes mean for the established order and the future of global leadership. The BRICS mineral exchange raises urgent questions about the future of global supply chains, the stability of international markets, and the enduring power of the US dollar. Will the dollar remain the world's reserve currency, or are we witnessing the first steps toward a new financial architecture? We are witnessing a great rebalancing of power and influence, with economic gravity shifting eastward and southward. The rise of BRICS is not just a story of numbers and trade, but of ambition, innovation, and the desire for a more equitable world. The story of the 21st century may well be defined by how the West adapts to this new, multipolar reality. As old certainties fade and new alliances form, the world stands at a crossroads, one where cooperation, competition, and creativity will shape the future of our global community. Minerals are the building blocks of our civilization, forming the foundation of everything from the infrastructure we rely on to the devices we use every day. Beneath the Earth's surface, these raw materials are extracted through complex and often massive operations, fueling the growth of cities, industries, and entire economies. Without minerals, the modern world as we know it simply wouldn't exist. They are essential for modern technology and national security. Every smartphone, computer, and advanced piece of military equipment contains a variety of minerals, each playing a unique role in performance and durability. From the silicon in microchips to the rare metals in batteries, minerals are at the heart of innovation and defense. The green energy transition and digital revolution depend on a steady supply of critical minerals. As the world shifts towards renewable energy and digital connectivity, the demand for these resources is skyrocketing. Solar panels, wind turbines, and electric vehicles all require specialized minerals, making their availability crucial for a sustainable future. Lithium, cobalt, and nickel-power electric vehicles and store renewable energy, enabling cleaner transportation and more resilient power grids. These minerals are mined in diverse regions, often under challenging conditions, and then processed into the batteries that drive the green revolution. Rare earth elements are vital for high-strength magnets in wind turbines and defense systems. These elements, though used in small quantities, are irreplaceable in many high-tech applications, from precision-guided missiles to the motors that spin wind turbines. Control over these minerals is a powerful geopolitical tool. Nations that possess or control the supply chains for critical minerals can influence global markets, shape alliances, and even dictate the pace of technological progress. The BRICS mineral exchange is a strategic move on this chessboard, aiming to give emerging economies more leverage in global trade. By coordinating their mineral resources, BRICS countries can negotiate better terms and challenge the dominance of traditional powers. The West, reliant on imports, faces a new reality as producers assert their interests. Supply disruptions, trade restrictions, and shifting alliances are forcing Western nations to rethink their strategies and invest in alternative sources. The West's technological future and economic security depend on supply chains it does not control. As competition for minerals intensifies, ensuring access to these resources has become a top priority for governments and industries alike. The race for minerals is not just about economics, it's about shaping the future of technology, security, and global power. The BRICS mineral exchange draws its formidable power from the immense and diverse natural wealth found within its member nations. Stretching across continents, these countries are home to some of the world's richest deposits of minerals and metals, forming the backbone of modern industry and technology. From the iron-rich soils of Brazil to the diamond-laden earth of South Africa, the mineral bounty of BRICS is truly staggering. This coalition of resource titans holds a commanding and strategic position in global mineral production, accounting for a significant portion of the world's output of key resources. Their combined influence extends far beyond their borders, shaping the supply and pricing of minerals that are vital for everything from construction and manufacturing to high-tech electronics and renewable energy. By pooling their vast resources and coordinating their strategies, BRICS nations are able to influence global markets on an unprecedented scale, challenging the established order that has long been dominated by Western powers. Their collective bargaining power gives them leverage to negotiate favorable terms and set the agenda for the global mineral trade. Russia, Brazil, South Africa, India, and China each bring unique strengths to the table, contributing significant mineral resources that are essential for the world's industries. Whether it's Russia's vast reserves of nickel and palladium, Brazil's iron ore, South Africa's gold and platinum, India's coal and iron, or China's rare earth elements, each nation plays a crucial role in this alliance. Among them, China stands out as the most significant player, dominating global supply chains for critical minerals. Its advanced processing capabilities and control over rare earth elements make it indispensable to the world's technology and energy sectors. Collectively, the BRICS nations control a dominant share of the world's essential minerals, resources that are increasingly vital for the industries of the future, including electric vehicles, renewable energy, and advanced electronics. Their stewardship of these materials positions them at the forefront of the global transition to a more sustainable and technologically advanced economy. This unprecedented concentration of resource power allows the BRICS alliance to set the terms of trade for the raw materials the world desperately needs. As demand for these minerals continues to surge, their ability to influence prices and supply chains will only grow, reshaping the global economic landscape for years to come. The BRICS mineral exchange represents a shift in global commerce architecture. It creates a system where members trade resources directly, bypassing Western financial infrastructure. A key feature is moving away from the US dollar for trade settlement, using a basket of national currencies. This de-dollarization shields BRICS from US financial sanctions and economic pressures. The exchange aims to establish new pricing benchmarks, reflecting BRICS economy's dynamics. It fosters industrial and technological cooperation, encouraging joint ventures in mining and manufacturing. This vertical integration strengthens their economic bloc and reduces dependence on Western technology. The West's predicament stems from decades of economic choices. Globalization led to offshoring and outsourcing, creating a critical dependence on other nations. This dependence is acute in critical minerals, with Western governments ignoring their origins. The West's domestic mining capabilities atrophied, leading to import reliance. The assumption that trade fosters peace proved overly optimistic. Rising powers now seek to reshape the order to suit their interests. The West's economic reliance is a strategic Achilles heel. The BRICS mineral exchange institutionalizes the potential for resource-based leverage. The BRICS mineral exchange's strategic importance lies in specific minerals. Control over these resources translates into industrial and technological power. BRICS nations dominate supply chains for vital minerals, creating leverage the West cannot ignore. Rare earth elements are essential for magnets in green energy and defense industries. Battery metals like lithium, cobalt, and nickel are crucial for the transition from fossil fuels. South Africa and Russia dominate platinum group metals, vital for catalytic converters and fuel cells. The concentration of these resources within BRICS gives their exchange strategic bite. The BRICS mineral exchange is a geopolitical event, signaling a shift from Western dependence. It offers developing nations an alternative path, potentially shifting allegiances. The West faces a diplomatic challenge, needing to compete for loyalty and cooperation. A new great game is underway, with economic tools like tariffs and control over supply chains. The world could split into competing economic spheres, centered around the US and China. Global supply chains may be reconfigured along geopolitical lines, prioritizing security over efficiency. The BRICS mineral exchange's economic repercussions for the West are profound. A separate trading system could lead to price volatility and supply disruptions. Western manufacturers may face less predictable costs and competitive disadvantages. The challenge to the US dollar's reserve currency status could erode its privilege. Western nations must rethink industrial strategies, reducing dependencies and rebuilding capabilities. Initiatives like the US Inflation Reduction Act aim to secure supply chains. Rebuilding industrial capacity is difficult, facing environmental regulations and labor shortages. Western consumers may face higher costs for greater economic security. The BRICS mineral exchange symbolizes a post-American world where US dominance is no longer absolute. Rising powers are building institutions reflecting their interests, creating a parallel order. The West must adapt to strategic competition and cooperation, recognizing a multipolar landscape. The BRICS initiative highlights the shift from a unipolar to a multipolar world. The West's response will define its place in this new world, balancing protectionism and innovation. The post-American world has arrived and we are all living in it.